Hello and welcome back everyone to the quarterfinals of this Sunday Semi-Pro Cup series. As always, I will be joined with @NizCast to give you guys some insight, to make me not sound stupid, and to make this cast more enjoyable. And on the two sides we have Pain, which I think is from the new team Pain, and some friends who are competing together, and Water, of course, as we saw them win from the last round, so this should be a very good game. Don't know too much about Ox plus 4. I know Kai, decent, definitely a strong player, so we'll see what happens, is basically what's going to happen in this game. But like Niz was saying, this tournament has progressed quite a bit. We already have a team in the semifinals. We are behind the curve a little bit, but for the most part, the tournament's progressing pretty quickly.
10 seconds remaining.
And I believe Niz will be joining me any moment, as I'm sure he's just dealing
That's a muted mic.
Oh, well, you don't even have to say. You could just say, "Sorry, my cat," and then no one would ever be able to make fun of you.
Yeah. Oh well. But yeah, we actually have two teams already in the semifinals. We're just in the quarterfinals, but we'll get there.
Yes,
yeah, you mentioned Kai. I used to play on a team with Kai. Back when I played on Epic Bulls, he's a hell of a player. So I actually don't know anyone else on this roster, unless some people are playing with different names, which may be
I'm
the.
pretty sure Pain is from Pain.
Well, yeah.
So I mean, it has to be a decent stack, obviously, just by deduction of who they're playing with. But more importantly, Niz, is that this game gets them a victory here. Gets them one step away from playing for the finals, and that's a big deal. It's starting to get to the point where you're going to get that exposure and attention, and you know, usually there's not a ton of viewers that flock over to the Neo Dota stream on Thursdays, but if you can get to that final game and be on that limelight, it'll definitely help you guys a lot. And you know, a few of these players, I'm sure, are players that haven't gotten a lot of limelight, unlike Pain and Kai, who have, and unlike Water, who have been to mini finals. So for them, it's really important. But
Absolutely.
we'll see. See what happens here. This draft is progressing slowly, really slowly, actually.
Oh. Well, Pain Dodo done his research. He knows Water's tendency and the fact that they like to run on dying, so let's just ban it out. But that means Terrorblade is now a hero. So
he does get picked up.
They picked that up. Interesting to see Water still banning Ancient Apparition and Sand King. I don't see it. Why?
Because they like to pick up the double heal strat? I mean, the AA obviously is a counter to any healing strat. But the Sand King, I'm not as sure about. Because he doesn't really counter healing strats. He's a strong initiator. But if you're going to ban a strong initiator, why ban Sand King? Right? Why not ban the Watermelon, who is a much stronger initiator and offers a little bit more?
Faceless Void. Skywrath Mage.
Ooh. Now that's a combo we haven't seen a lot lately, but is definitely popular, was popular, and probably will be popular for a long time. Damn.
But is it enough to deal with the Terrorblade?
You know, honestly, I share the same opinion with you. I'll preface it with that, but a lot of people don't share our opinion with the strengths of Terrorblade. They actually think he's a lot weaker than what people say.
He's a very strong hero. I don't see how anyone could say otherwise.
Well, because his laning phase is pretty poor if you get a strong enough aggressive tri-lane.
You have to... If you understand that Metamorphosis is so pivotal on that hero, and I believe it's the longest, well, it's definitely the longest cooldown normal ability in the game. And you have to play around that as if it's his ult. You have to almost consider that Sunder is not even his ult. If you play around the fact that Metamorphosis is essentially his ultimate, then you can kind of pick away at him when he's still weak. But, I mean, he's still so strong, even without it. And he can do such... He's one of those heroes that when you go late with him, he's incredible. but even the steps getting there, he's really, really strong, and that's a lot. A lot of the reason why people like Void so much is because Chrono's good at any point in the game. You know, if you gave Tidehunter the ability to scale really, really late and do a whole bunch of right-click damage, that's almost the effect that Void has. You know, very, very strong in that middle game, and then he scales and just does so much as the game goes late. Is he the strongest late game hero? No, not at all.
But
There's
he's
plenty of
definitely
heroes that
up
can
there.
outright click him, but yeah, he's definitely up there.
Well, he's the number one-on-one fight in the late game. No one can beat a Void in a one-on-one late game fight because of Chronosphere. It's just how it
Dire
is.
team banned.
Very
Yeah.
few heroes. Like maybe Razor, but like even then, it's situational, right?
Maybe Terrorblade.
But then it's situational again, right? Because if he gets the Chronosphere and gets the bashes, the crits, enough right clicks, yeah, you can sunder
10
him,
seconds
but
remaining.
If you still get bashed after
Yeah.
the Sunder, it's not going to do you any good.
yeah, you might just get chain bashed. And of course, 25% is higher than a standard basher, if I'm not mistaken. I think a standard basher is only 20%. So Faceless Void a little bit stronger than the item, but that's to be expected because he does get it as a skill. Bans are proceeding as kind of normal. Viper, Death Prophet from Water. Not too surprising to see those banned out, especially with a Faceless Void and Skywrath Mage on the side of Pain Dodo, or Pain plus Friends.
10
You really don't
seconds
want to
remaining.
deal with the push potential and the catch potential. And then the Tide ban out, as they don't want to really give too much AoE teamfight initiation to the side of Water, because they have a ton already with that Void. There's no reason to let the playing field be equalized here.
You also forgot to mention Dazzle.
Dazzle, oh yeah, I forgot. Dazzle right
Getting
over.
banned out.
Yeah, nobody
Of
cares
course.
about Dazzle.
No, but Dazzle actually works really well
10
with a
seconds.
Terrorblade Razor, and it's kind of weird when you think about that, but
5
no,
seconds
Dazzle's
remaining.
ult is good. It's just really good. And Terrorblade and mainly Razor is a hero who, if he doesn't have a threat of dying, he can just go balls to the wall, and
Dire team pick.
Dazzle allows you to do that. And of course, the minus armor is always good, especially when you already have two really strong right-click heroes. And it's going to help as well, increasing your armor against the strong minus armor of the Faceless Void. So that makes sense.
The
Or not
minus armor of the
the
Faceless
strong right-click. I
Void.
don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Don't even know. It's getting to that point.
I was
But
thinking
yeah,
about the Vengeful Spirit.
yeah, Vengeful Spirit. But that's the second or third time we've seen Vengeful Spirit picked up after a Faceless Void Skywrath opener. Ooh.
Which is a good hero. So is Invoker.
And his changes, definitely different. But still a strong hero. And the changes, of course, to, like Niz went over last time, the changes to mid really buff heroes like Invoker. There's disincentive to Bottle Crow. Although it's not massive, it's still there. And heroes like Invoker don't need to Bottle Crow ever. And they just can sit in lane and do what they need to do.
Yeah, and especially when you've got
Remaining.
the strong roaming potential of Skywrath and Venge.
5 seconds remaining.
Like, they're just going to be on top of those runes. So maybe Water's going to choose to go for something that can get a little greedy in that off lane. But the problem is you can't go too greedy, because if you do go greedy and then you get caught out with a concussive shot, so you're slowed, and then the Venge comes in and stuns you, and you lose your armor and everything, and then you're just going to fall over. Are you convinced that Wraith King's a core? I'm not. I'm pretty sure it's 100% support.
I mean, it could still be. I mean, you could run an aggressive tri-lane and solo safe lane the Terrorblade, assuming that it's a Void off lane. But then if they go aggressive, you've put yourself in a position where you need to switch the lanes. And honestly, I don't think you win against a Skywrath Mage, Vengeful Spirit, Faceless Void. I mean, there are ways to win against that. You could pick up a Visage. But, yeah, probably. There's ways to do it, but I don't think they put the Wraith King as a core. It's too... There's just too much that could go wrong, I feel like.
Witch Doctor.
Witch Doctor,
Hey,
they
it's
used
the
it
Bren
last
Witch
game.
Doctor.
Bren played it well last game, and it gave them a lot You know what? We could be shaping up for a Necrophos final pick.
How is Necro not banned yet?
Because he's a bad hero, dude. Come on. Don't you know this? I'm not trolling you either. He's the worst hero in the game, Niz.
Necro is like top tier pick. I don't get
10
it.
seconds remaining.
Well, riddle me this, Niz.
5 seconds remaining.
Why is LC not getting picked? She's top tier pub here. Just kidding.
Dude, I don't.
Time.
You're not convinced.
Hey, look, Centaur getting fifth
Well-
banned again. It seems like every game that happens too.
Well, and it's always in the last 2 bans. Always. Just right in that spot.
Hmm.
We'll see. Last pick. This is definitely going to shape up a lot of things to come here.
Hmm.
What's
Who do you
that
pick?
humming for, my friend?
Who do you pick?
10 seconds remaining.
You need something with some
5
tank
seconds
ability, I feel.
remaining.
Right? Like, how do you fight water is power head on?
Reserve time.
Like,
Two
as it
heroes are coming to
stands,
mind: Bristle and Puck, and I think it's neither of them. That is interesting too.
Dire team pick.
it's really interesting. I honestly don't know how I feel about that, considering the fact that Water is Power has a decent team to punish. Hard. If they get ahead. Like, they can take towers, they can team fight, they can sustain. Terrorblade goes late.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, what?
I mean, that's a
Okay, it is
that's a
Wraith
Wraith
King
King
core.
core. Yeah.
So,
Moves
Who
mid
wins?
Terrorblade.
uh-huh.
Carry Earthshaker. Nope. Support Wraith King, carry Earthshaker. Niz, you're wrong. Quit. Just leave. Nobody likes you.
What the hell's going on?
I mean,
This isn't a game anymore.
this is why we love Dota, right?
This is not Dota.
No, this is
I
why
don't
we
get
love
it. It's
Dota.
not Dota.
Because if we wanted to watch the same thing over and over again, we'd load up League of Legends. Shots fired.
Oh shit.
Shots fired. Anyways, League of Legends is a good game in its own right
Riot.
for all of you lovers of it. Anyways, over for the side of Pain plus friends on the Radiant side. We have Pain Dodo picking up the mid lane as the Invoker. Kai picking up the support Skywrath Mage. Oxmox is going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. LOL on the Ember Spirit carry. And finally, that leaves Ken. Going to be picking up the Faceless Void. Looks like to be offlane.
On this dire side, we've got Water. We've got the Captain, Bren, playing the Witch Doctor. We've got Moo, who dominated last game on this Silencer, playing the Terrorblade. We've got the D2 Sheriff, playing the Wraith King. Hello World, playing the Razor. And we got Urkind on the Earthshaker. I wish this pause came out like 10 seconds later, so I could read into the item pickups and see if, this is a core Earthshaker, judging by their rules.
Yeah, no, I don't think you switch up roles. Like, well, you do, like, if you're...
Some teams do it, some pro teams do it.
I guess that's true. I guess that is really true. It's one of those things that's totally situational, right? If your team can do it, why not? It adds an extra element, and there we go. We just saw a swap. Pain Dodo is actually going to be playing support, and Kai is going to be on the mid Invoker. LOL switches to the support Skywrath Mage, and Pain Dodo is going to be on the Ember Spirit, and I think that's all the switching we're going to see.
I've actually never seen Kai play mid.
I've actually only... No, I guess when I played with him, 11 was there too, so 11 played mid.
Yeah. Kai played offlane for us when we played on the same team. And before that, I know he played a lot of support.
Could it be offlane Voker?
I'm not saying he's not mid, but
No, I know, but do you think that's decent? Because I don't think so. I personally do not like it at all.
maybe they're saying, you know what? Let's put offlane Invoker because it's going to be a mid Terrorblade. And then we get Ember versus Terrorblade.
Fair enough. That could be good. We'll see though. I mean,
What is
there's a lot
water
of,
doing though?
I don't know. I don't know. Everyone's all over the place right now. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately,
But paint
this pause is taking forever.
and Friends, it makes sense. it makes sense what we're looking at in terms of the hero lineup. Water though, it just doesn't. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you can always go aggressive with 3 supports. You can do that. That's fine. But are those the 3 supports that you want to go aggro with? With 2 melee and
I mean, with Fisher, he's never really technically melee.
yeah, but you don't have any right click follow up. That's the downside. Like, yeah, you've got the long range initiate, but there's no right click follow up, which is the most important part when it comes to killing someone early.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Like, spell damage isn't actually what kills people.
And as this pause took a while, guys, we are going to be the bottom side of the bracket that's going to be finishing up. Hopefully it'll go quickly. 3 things to note. 1, if this does go to potentially past midnight Eastern, I might have to let Niz solo cast the finals, unfortunately, because I have to be ready for an exam in the morning, and I don't want to fuck it up because I'm a good student. But I don't think that'll be the case. I think we'll be okay. This game, the second important thing to note, guys, is that Soup was able to beat CMB. So unfortunately, CMB is out of this tournament. And Le Jeu de Bleu, unfortunately, lost to the 5 Stooges. And so we will see the winner of this plays CNB. The winner of that plays the 5 Stooges. The winner of that is your champion with $100. But without further ado, guys, we can get into this game after the introductions. And yeah, not too much else to talk about in this. Thought I'd get that information out of the way. As unfortunately I know for you and me, Indie Bear, Goofy, sad to see them go, but what a strong performance by them with the number of teams coming out. Top 4 finish out of 84 teams, definitely something to pat your back on.
Yeah, they were playing with Chrono Dodo tonight as well. So I know he, you know him too, right? I believe.
Yeah, you know, I've known Chrono for a very long time. Ever since CTP. Oh, look at the good Fisher block from your current here. Gonna stall up this creep wave in a big way.
It is a solo offlane. I've actually solo offlaned as Earthshaker a lot. Which seems really weird, but you can make it work. It's actually not as bad as a lot of people think.
Look at that, the first creep wave is pretty much gonna fight under his tower perfectly. In fact, it's gonna push back a little bit. Yeah, good denying could stop this, but honestly, it's gonna get him what he needs to start it off with. Like, yeah, they can deny this, but whatever, man. He's getting 30 experience more than he would have if he didn't do that. Or if he wasn't
in trouble
Earthshaker.
top.
He might be. The wraparound is there. Brent gonna throw out the cask. He already has skilled up Time Lock, but unfortunately Moo wasn't in range, nor had yet skilled up what is called Reflection. Able to use that.
Time
Had
Lock?
he? Yeah, Time Lock instead of Time Walk.
Weird.
Please, he says, as he is going to continue to last hit here. Regeneration picked up by LOL. No Kunk shot, just lots of arcane bolts coming out from him. Will help zone out the Earthshaker, but again, this early Fisher block by him has got him a lot out of this lane already, and unfortunately you can't at all pull with the new ancient setup. So,
are you sure about that?
well, yeah, because there's also the Fisher fix, but
oh well, yeah, the Fisher fix.
I don't think you can do anything sneaky with the Earthshaker in this off lane. He can stack it though, and they have Terrorblade to farm it.
As someone who learned all the Earthshaker pulls and even the ones that were a lot less popular with destroying a few trees and stuff like that, I should really have clued into the fact that the Fisher fix was out still.
Yeah, no, definitely, and you probably got frustrated when they fixed that, even though it was probably necessary. A little bit.
Yeah, it was a little silly what you could do with it.
This is actually much better, in my opinion, too. Like, yeah, well, not better, but it's it's still nice. The fact that it stalls up the creeps gives Earthshaker still an ability to do this and get good experience. And like you said, you've played a lot of solo Offshaker, and it works because of Fisher. Like we're seeing it right now. Like it's a very slow-paced game, but he's getting everything he needs. No, now he's not. We're gonna catch the end of that. Looks like he's just gonna get dove on right there as 3 heroes magically appear. The supports were standing around here, I'm pretty sure, when I wasn't paying attention, and they just ran up and stunned.
He stepped up, got bolas, got everything, and just fell over before he was able to slam his totem down and shake to Earths.
Well, like it would have even mattered. He is just going to TP back in the bottom lane, continue to do what he is doing. As he is getting decent farm, supports are on their way, bolas could happen, but there is no sleight of fist, so there's no ranged initiation. Kunk Shot is probably enough, but to be fair, Fisher is pretty damn good at stopping initiations. Kai, middle lane, just a casual static link. We haven't touched base at all in this middle lane at all. It is a decently even lane, 12 to 5, 10, 11 to 4. Oh, Bren might be in trouble. 1 point in time lock only, though, so it's a really low chance. Probably up to about 40% chance to have a bash on the next hit, but it's really not going to happen, and it's not going to do too much damage. It's only 40 physical. Or magical, sorry. And smoke by Ox, Mox, and LOL. Looking to wrap around here as they want to go on to Hello World. Hello World, concussive shot. Now the Arcane Bolt. Sunstrike is off the mark, though. Stun, right clicks is enough. Definitely going to clean him up. Oxmox is the one to secure the kill with the right click. But nonetheless, a kill is a kill.
Kai did a really good job of baiting there. You know, Hello World thought he could get the link off because Kai stepped up. But that, of course, was Kai baiting a little bit and was able to pull back before the link went off. And the only mistake Kai did there is he threw down the Sunstrike before he saw the what is it called? The Comet? Magic Missile in the air. So to make sure that he would have landed the Sunstrike, he just...
Moo, LOL. LOL, moo. It's going to happen. They know, he knows which one's the real one. The question is, does he go for it? And I don't know if he should. There's the wolf beating on him.
He can't kill him.
Sunstrike. With the Sunstrike, he definitely can. There's the concussive shot. There's the right clicks. Oh no, Moo is just going to actually turn and fight and win. Moo. Terrorblade. Niz, never mind. You know more than me. I admit it. What a man. As
Gotta say, it went a lot
kill.
closer than expected. But, unfortunately, Moo's actually going to have to go back to base now because he did use his health pot.
He had a kill brought to him. Not a bad deal. Not a bad deal at all.
He didn't even have to go anywhere.
Oh, Bullis onto Urkund. Not too much going to happen after that.
Didn't even have to move.
No, sir. And this game does continue on relatively even beginning as things go back towards the middle. Ken in the top lane is in some trouble, but Time Leap will resolve any of the issues that he's having. Won't be able to get him back in the lane anytime soon, but he has tangos. He can eat up, he can stay around. If he stays too close, though, he could eat another stun and could die, but... Yeah, D2 Sheriff is farming, so they did swap up the roles. In a big way. But it's because of Moo Terrorblade jungle. This is such a greedy setup. And we haven't really even talked about how greedy this setup really is. But it didn't start off greedy, it ended greedy. Or it didn't end greedy, but the laning phase went from normal to greedy, with Terrorblade rotating into the jungle towards the end of it.
Well, it looks like it's going to pay off for them.
Oh, Cat's going to follow. It's going to actually bounce to the creep wave, and he gets hit again. He does. D2 Sheriff gets the kill, 2-2. Water on the board with 2. Meanwhile, Pain Dota on the board with 3. As Pain and Friends, as Pain is going to rotate in the middle lane, get the bolas as well as the Sunstrike, going to clean up that kill. And Kai will be the one to net that kill, as we see a decent exchange.
Urkund just kind of farming up on the bottom, offlane Earthshaker, silently becoming a hero. Ooh, lots of TPs top.
And levels, big-wise. He's already level 6. But Pain and Friends want to do something top, and they have Chronosphere, but Wraith King has ultimate. So chronoing him and going on him is probably pointless. But maybe they'll do it. Bren, moving up. Right click. They know Bren's there. Ox, Mox, and Lol have not revealed themselves yet. Although I think that creep might have just revealed Ox, Mox. We'll see. Just a second. I believe he was slightly in vision range. So we'll see if anything happens here, but it is kind of quiet now. Oh, there's the stun. Maybe that's their key to go, but they must know he's level 6. Like, they click on him. You click on him, like, you have to.
I think they're looking to get Bren to step up and then Chrono, and then they step in.
Or get D2 Sheriff to stun. Because it's, oh, Invoker is going to pick off the middle lane. Sorry, I missed that as he's able to get the Sunstrike plus the Cold Snap. Staring down this Texas-style, whatever you call it, showdown.
It didn't even give me a notification of that kill. I didn't even know.
I did. It gave me a notification on the left and on the show fight. Niz is falling asleep at the wheel, guys.
No!
And here we go. Concussive shot, stun. Going on D2 Sheriff. But again, he has that ultimate. There is the Chronosphere. But the cast bounced and stunned a lot of this. Bryn is still going to take quite a bit of damage, but he's running the healing during this, and it might be enough for him to actually survive. He does. And now Ken is going to die. Oxmox on the run. His 3 heroes are chasing him. Stun is available in 1 second. Going off. Gonna hit. Dealing quite a bit of damage. Right clicks are there. And double kill for Hello World. What plays? And meanwhile, hello Moo. How's your farm going?
Just silently farming away here. Says, guys, it's about time for someone to come over and feed me a kill. I'm ready for another.
I want more, please. Kotal, give more kills, please. But that aside, interesting game shaping up here, Niz. Interesting game shaping up here.
Yeah, it's a little slow, but that's expected from such a greedy lineup from Water. Urkand actually did pick up his boots of
Pain
speed.
going for Moo. Moo doesn't have the mana for Sunder. With the second Remnant and the Sunstrike, Invoker is going to be able to clean up that killer. Now Bane might be in trouble here as he is getting chased up. Static Link is there. They already used Cast though, so they don't have another follow-up stun. The movement speed is slightly in favor of Razor, but I don't think that's enough to kill him, as the Static Link will eventually be cancelled, already dealing or stealing 100 damage. But yeah, that's not good. Terrorblade should not be dying like that. Just greedy play, great rotation. Pain Dodo looking for that kill and finds it. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ukraine might be in trouble. Concussive shot, silence, and Arcane Bolts are there. Right clicks to follow. Mox not anywhere in position though to be able to get that follow-up stun.
Earthshaker too good.
Good hero. Good hero.
He's just an annoying hero to play against now. Once he got his mana boots up, fissure. You don't want to 1v1 him anymore.
Oh no, Pain Dodo with the haste, and haste is such a good rune on Ember Spirit because he can just pop that shield and go ham. Will he though? It looks like they're going to go ahead and move the momentum into the bottom lane, and bye-bye Earthshaker.
Because you're on cooldown.
He said 1 hero, now he saw 4, and then now he saw his death as they all collapsed on him. Bryn, my friend.
Mistakes.
Bryn, my friend, you've made a mistake. D2
Nope,
Sheriff.
D2 Sheriff doesn't cancel.
No, he doesn't, and that might have been a
this is
mistake. Though,
fun.
but I mean, again, he has the Aegis, so is that really enough to stop 4 heroes? I guess that's enough to stop 4 heroes.
I mean, they had an opportunity to stun him with Venge, but like you said, with his ult, you're not going to kill him. Maybe it's
Dire's
a little risky.
tower is under attack.
Yeah. Nah,
Radiant's
I mean,
top tower is under
you don't really lose out either way. You get stuff no matter what. It looks like Ember Spirit did just go back to base after Revenanting. He will go ahead and go back towards that middle lane as action does slow down. Dodoraptor's hope for quick games is not going to happen, as we
I'm
are
6.82.
not in 6.82 as we're buckling up for another decently long game. Brent gonna get caught out though. Pain Dodo, look, I mean, it could be a quick game if Pain Dodo keeps this up. He is definitely playing really well. 2-0-5, amazing fight participation, good farm progression, and you know, it's giving his team more control, and that leads to a bigger lead later on. Now, of course, that can be turned around with the comeback mechanic, but that doesn't mean it will. It's entirely on the hands of players. Time Walker, great jukes there, using the high ground vision to his advantage to be able to juke him to the max and be able to escape. Burn is getting big though, or Moo, sorry. Moo is getting big.
he isn't really in this game yet, so we can't underestimate the impact he's going to have in this game.
But that just even puts more precedence or onus on Ember Spirit to do a lot, right? Because if he doesn't get far enough ahead than Moo, who's just farming up here, right? Like you're gonna be in trouble eventually. 3 heroes, middle lane 4. Pain plus friends as they look to push this middle T1 tower.
It's got to be getting to the point where Moo just hops out of the jungle and pushes top, right?
I mean, eventually, but maybe he just wants to finish the drums first. Maybe he wants to go into the Manta style before he does that. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see though, because if it's going to be soon. 3 heroes in the middle lane do clean up that tower. That is, of course, the first tower of this game, as Ken's going to get stunned up by Teacher Sheriff. This should be a kill, as of course Time Leap does allow him to escape from that, no risk of death. It's an interesting game.
Both teams setting up something bottom. As Fox was standing off into the trees, and Bren was sitting behind Urken, but...
Yeah, this game's kind of slow paced. Like, it feels like it's building up to something big. And generally those games are decided by the first few engagements. In the older patches, we'll see what the newer patch does with those styles of games, but you can't really change too much. When you guys sit back and farm, and then a big
Ken's
flash
gonna
happens...
go for Moo.
Oh yeah, he is. He's going to go ahead and leap forward, and there it is. The Chronosphere actually hits him. Moo's going to die. And that's exactly what they need to happen. Pain Dodo does get the bolas onto D2 Sheriff, but here comes the crit Earth Shaker, as he does have access to that Echo Slam. Concussive shot does hit on both as they're going to get a double bolas. However, the Echo Slam is absorbed by the shield, so now Pain Dodo is still alive. We'll be able to ribbon it out, dodging that second wave of the plasma field. Stun goes out onto Pain Dodo. He's actually going to get cleaned up by D2 Sheriff in the lane. Now Hello World going to get ultimate. Skywrath using that Mystic Flare, but the ward, the Death Ward, Bryn, look at it go. Gets the double kill, or sorry, D2 Sheriff gets the double kill off the back of that, but his teammates setting him up, allowing him to easily clean up those kills. And Water, again with the turnarounds. Water is never dead, despite how far behind they are.
I feel like a complete noob. I had no idea that Concussive Shot slowed and dealt damage in an AoE. It's like I've never read the ability before.
I mean, you're like PPD who doesn't read ability chain or patch notes, right? Just kidding.
When did that happen?
I mean, to me, since the beginning of the hero came out,
Oh, okay.
I can't really think of a patch that changed that.
Well, you said it's like I didn't read the patch notes.
No,
I always read the patch notes.
No, I know. I was just making fun of you because it's kind of relevant to the PPD story.
Actually, I don't know the PPD story.
It just recently he was upset in a pub because he didn't read patch note changes for 6.82. He got flamed on Reddit for it, but LOL, throws a concussive shot, does get blinked away by the Wraith King. Great dodging timing there by him, prevents anything from happening. But now they're in position to go ahead and siege up this tower. And that's really what they want to do right now. Double Forward Spirit, Necro Book level 2, now at level 3 sitting in the base, and a lot of heroes sitting behind this Invoker.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Are they? No, they are going to contest this. They're TPing down here.
Sheriff, Yurkrin are in the area, and they are going to be. It is going to be enough to push
So
them back.
non-committal.
This game is very. There's a lot of respect between these two teams. I feel like they really just don't want to fight each other, because when they do fight, it never goes one-sided, and that's just by virtue of both teams having good players, right? Just how things go.
But if you're Pain and Friends, what are you waiting for? You're waiting for Moo to get big and just win the game? Like, I don't know. I don't know if you want to go that late. Are you waiting for an item on Ember? D2 Sheriff going down?
Yeah, he actually is probably in big trouble. Will blink away, though, on the second life, as the rest of the team is, again, kind of pushed back after using that ultimate. And now that it's level 2, short cooldown, not as big of an impact that it's on CD, because it'll be up sooner enough that it won't really matter at all. Wow,
know, that must be it. They must just feel comfortable going late. Which, to me, is really weird.
yeah. I mean,
Really weird.
both teams have good late game, though, right? But both teams have different kinds of late game.
Yeah. And I can't tell you which one wins, but...
Dire's bottom tower.
Well, they're going on Kai bottom.
Yeah, the blade mail is popped. Swap is there. So Mox going to take the majority of that Mystic Flare. Sorry, onto the Wraith King. Now the Echo Slam by Yurkrin onto 3 heroes. Going to be focused down, though, not doing too much, as they hoped to get a lot out of that, but didn't really get anything. Water throwing away 2 heroes to the Meat Grinder, as Pain plus Friends looks to push
Dire's
bottom.
bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And it looks like they will actually keep pushing to at least deal some damage to that tier 2. They do still have Chronos, so they may actually be able to take it rather uncontested. And it looks like that will be the case. Breton farming up in the middle lane.
I mean, Ags on a Witch Doctor is quite a
Dire's
useful
bottom
and
tower
important item in a lot of ways.
He is so far from that, though.
Yeah. He's really just looking for his arc boots right now, but every step gets you closer, and, you know, as a support, you can't... It took me a long time to learn this as a support, but just farming whenever you have a 20-second window is so important, because you just need gold, right? You always do, as every role. But support, you really don't get as many options, so when you do get them, take them and get everything you can out of them.
Yeah, don't miss last hits.
Well, yeah, don't miss last hits, but I mean,
For damn
like,
sure.
you know,
I know,
sometimes
I know. I'm just saying.
I'd be in that mentality of I could get these last hits, or I could go posture over here to defend my teammate, or, you know, something like that. So Bryn,
There's always a time and a place for that, right?
yeah,
It's always good to never be on the map, so the enemy always fears you, but there's also a time and a place to say, you know what, like, they know I'm up here, they know I can't be there anyways, let me just take 100, 200 gold worth here.
yeah.
And then I'll go missing, and I'll be scary.
Something that a Mirana support does very well is 2 heroes do run by Ember Spirit. As this game is not too action-packed, guys, unfortunately.
Hurricane
like
bottom.
in previous games, but yeah, Hurricane bottom does get caught out as gank. Will be the most recent kill in the last 2 minutes, but besides that
Bren.
one kill, oh, never mind, Waterbryn, D2 Sheriff, back him up. There's the ultimate, and Pain Dodo is in big trouble, as he's going to take a ton of damage, enough to actually kill him. And the team was there to back him up. Meanwhile, Vengeful Spirit actually fell in the bottom lane. The tower did fall top from Pain and Friends, but the push is coming from Water into the bottom lane with Moo, as Moo has just been getting big in the background. Although he hasn't picked up two... No, never mind. He almost has his BKB done. I didn't see the Mithril Hammer. But that is the item that threw me off. But Kai is an insane net worth. We haven't really touched base on this, but Kai has just been absolutely off the charts as far as last hits go.
Midas.
Well, last hits and kills and deaths, and or no deaths, etc. But leap back from the Faceless Void. It looks like Kai's going to eat the stun. It doesn't have any escapability here. There's the cask stun. The Chronosphere is there, though, from Kryn to go ahead and block off in the Fissure. Literally that distance from being able to stun him.
Blame it on the patch notes.
Always
Had they
blame it on
made
the patch
Chrono
notes.
an extra 100, range smaller, or radius smaller, that wouldn't have happened.
25 not enough, Riot.
Is it 25? Yeah, it was 25. I thought it was 50 for a second. No, it is 25.
Yeah, 100 would have been huge.
Oh.
Hugeness. Let's turn Chronosphere into a stasis bubble for a creep.
Is 100 enough for him not to get picked? I think so, but
I think if you made it the size of a creep, you'd still pick him. Because what if you hit that one Chronosphere, right? Like the black hole.
his movement would be absolutely useless.
I mean, obviously
That's
they
all.
just give him more abilities and like give him
Yeah.
like, you know, pay to win aspects, because that's, you know, that's the way to make money. Volvo never go pay to play. or pay to win. But anyways, this game is interesting to say the least, as we do see back and
Blink
forth,
dagger.
back and forth.
Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker.
That's one
Getting
important
ready to bring the
pickup.
Slammajamas.
Mm-hmm. Look for those big jams to come a-ramming. As the concussive shot will fly out into the middle lane. We see a Howl of Terror also. Just posturing, not too much anything special. However, that middle tower is still taking a ton of damage. Yeah, ton of damage. Drops down to
Still
345
nothing.
HP. Yeah, you know what? The dire side has no roach control right now.
Pain Dota doesn't have a
That
fire
TP.
remnant down.
No, he does have a TP. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, fire remnant. Sorry. Yeah, I'm amazed he didn't go for the stun. I guess he didn't click on him and just assume that he did. But
Mhm.
you can never assume. Never ever assume.
It took a little bit for people to get used to how to counter that hero, and the fact that you click on him, you look at his charges. I guess that's not the real way to counter him, but it's one way.
And the smoke around as we see D2 Sheriff and Bryn. They're actually not even going to be the ones to engage first, as Hello Will gets caught off in the middle lane. Kai and LOL there dealing quite a bit of damage to him. Hello World dropping down to 400 HP, 300 HP. Might fall from the summons, but now the chase is on the other side, and now Kai with that huge net worth is going to fall, giving 500 gold to the Wraith King, and now D2 Sheriff chasing down Pin Dodo. He doesn't actually have a remnant, does use one now. Should be able to escape from this. Blink Dagger is off of cooldown in 3 seconds. We'll see if they can chase here, as they do have the wraparound. There was the Earthshaker stun. There's the stun coming from, of course, the Wraithfire Blast. Now the right click's enough to finish it off, as Wraith King is able to clean that up in water. I mean, what a back and forth game. What a back and forth game. Water, at one point, they're kind of not looking good. They're not doing what they need to do. In the next moment, they're doing exactly what they need to do. And on the other side, Pain and Friends looked a little lackluster in that fight.
Yeah, they were just kind of all over the place. They just weren't really organized. They weren't really together. And Moo decides to come show up. And it works in their team's favors. They're also going to be able to clean up Roche.
He's also going an interesting build. We do see the Sange as well as BKB from him. Definitely not a standard build, but makes his illusions tanky early on, and can give him an early disarm for Faceless Void and or Ember Spirit. But the smoke, the Chronosphere, I feel it. It's going to happen.
Oh.
It's on 3, not on 4, so the stun actually should be able to go off. I'm surprised Sheriff hasn't thrown it. He throws it now. And now the Echo Slam does quite a bit of damage, cleaning up a lot of HP as the Faceless Void does fall. Wraith King does get his ultimate used, so he will be reviving, slowing everyone as Kai, LOL, and Squad are still alive. Terrorblade does end up falling as Hello World comes back into the fight. Now D2 Sheriff taking quite a bit of damage from Pain Dodo, as of course he cannot take any damage while he has that Fire Shield active from Magical, and Oxmox is in trouble as he's surrounded. Hello World gonna fall, as it's a 3 for 5. Water losing everyone. That Chronosphere, I feel like it could have gone a little worse, but it was enough.
I don't know if Hello World misclicked or what happened, but he ended up killing the Necro minion and instantly falling over.
Mistakes
That's
happen.
Pain Dodo picking up the Aegis.
Battle Fury as well, 26
And a
minutes
Be
in.
Fury, yeah. And this is actually going to be Kai's sheep as well on the Invoker, so. And Venge got a blink. Well, that paid off for them. So a whole bunch of items get acquired.
And Venge Blink is actually really big once you get 11, because you can choose where to reposition your teammate to by blinking to that spot and then swapping. So you're not limited to just run in and swap and, you know, put them. You can blink into different spots and you get more utility out of the hero. Of course, that's true with every hero on Blink Dagger, but I just really like the way that it interacts with the hero. Really like that pickup. We'll see how it works. We will see, Niz.
So Moo actually is going S and Y.
Oh, I have seen this build before.
Interesting.
I was kind of expecting an HH, but I guess he doesn't want the halberd. He
was
wants
too,
to go for the
yeah.
SNY.
Which I think it would be very strong against Void.
Yeah, no, I mean, disarming the Void or the... Ember Spirit's Sleight of Fist doesn't work if he's disarmed, correct?
Actually, don't know.
Because I'm pretty sure that's true. It adds bonus damage to your attack, so... You shouldn't be able to attack if you were disarmed. Nor should you be able to swing through the air wildly with your blades if they're not in your hands. Just a thought.
Doesn't make sense. Oh, smoke up.
Yeah, it is going to move into the dire jungle as they're going to pick up this bounty rune. Goes over to, of course, the Ember Spirit as he pops that regen rune. Healing up here. Does have all of his remnants off of cooldown as they're going to run into D2 Sheriff. And it's a good kill, but it's not the best kill. He does also...
Oh, his ult comes up.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it'd be
That's
better if
unfortunate for him, yeah.
yeah, you really want to die there without your ultimate and then have your ultimate when they take a real fight. Now it's not going to be up for over 2 minutes, and it really just doesn't have a big impact.
That sucks for him, man. That really sucks.
And there's nothing he can do about it, right? Like, he can't spend his mana in time because he's stunned.
Mm-hmm. The only way that couldn't have or wouldn't have happened is if he actually blinked into them. But they were smoke, so he didn't even know they were there.
Yep, exactly. Which is
In
why
which case he would have just blinked away anyways, right?
Right. That's why he felt safe. When you running under wards smoked is better than not running under wards smoked. False sense of security.
It's weird how that happens.
Yeah, because, I mean, you didn't see anyone there, right? They can't be there. I mean, I make that same assumption all the time, but it's hard to read into the game that deeply, you know, like, well, you know, could they have smoked in this last 10 seconds? Yes. Is there a probability of it? Yes, but do I play differently because of it? Maybe. Because if I do and then they don't, then I wasted time, but if they do and I didn't, then I die, right? So it's one of those weird logic trees where no matter what, you lose out or win out, depending on how you look at it. Just kind of got to do what you got to do. You see Urkern TPing to the top. 5 heroes are coalescing for the dire side. And Niz, what do you think needs to happen here for one team to really get an advantage over the other? Because it really doesn't feel like any team is getting
Something.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. They're just farming. So you're not going to get a lead by just farming.
No, that's definitely well put.
And nothing's going to happen real soon here. Like, it looks like there's kind of been a grouping, but, you know, Ken's across the map. He is running up there, but he's
No,
probably
he's
going
not.
to stop and farm these ancients. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Dire's top
No, he's
Now he's coming.
yeah. He's not entirely decided yet. His
But now
team is
Bren's
deciding for
bottom.
him. Hello. Do you see what I seen is?
I do.
Well, the problem is the tower's already down.
Honestly,
so
that positioning is very weak.
well, now that tower is down,
He's-
definitely.
no, but even with the tower up, he's just too far to do anything. I'd much rather see them use a smoke and him stand in the background.
well,
Or even just him stand up by the trees but not actually blinked into them.
Ember Spirit doesn't leave a remnant, so they intend to leave. And they do. And he's going to be going for the BKB next. Usually what we see these days, no surprise there. The double Battle Fury rush build has kind of become obsolete for a lot of reasons. It's good, but it's not that good. And, yeah,
At least there's no more Aegis.
that's true. And it will be respawning, or we'll find out in about 3 minutes exactly what the respawn time will be, and that'll be very important.
Oh, every time I check Roche Pit, I check the old location.
I just did that too. I was like, what? Why is there ancients in my view?
Where's the thing? Where? Help!
Oh
Oh.
god, where am I, guys? Oh god, we're on the map.
I promise I've played this game before.
I'm not just some guy who types stuff into my Twitch bio.
Radiant's bottom tower
I
is
promise.
under attack.
But anyways, Ken and squad grouping up here to push top. Not squad, as Pain Dodo is nowhere in the area, and again, he doesn't have a fire remnant down. I just don't really get the logic of this game right now. It feels like both teams either massively respect each other, or they just want to take it late. Like, both teams really want to take it late. Pain Dodo? Chasing out Moo. BKB about to expire. 2 seconds, 1 second. Will Remnant forward. Does have Slight. Bolas. Got it. Now he's going to activate that slow. Slowing up the Ember Spirit. Of course, he has access to one more Spirit, but he wants to use that after the Reflection, and now he'll use it as they will chase down Moo. Quite a bit of damage as the Sunstrike going to hit on him. Dropping him down to 160 HP. He's going to run in Chronosphere, though. Going to guarantee that kill as they clean him up. A blink away from the Wraith King is going to get him away from most of harm's way from the Radiant side, and whew, that's not good. Trading a Vengeful Spirit for your Terrorblade.
I don't know if you looked at the fight recap there.
Oh, I know. I missed the click. I'm sorry.
Oh my. Huge gold swing from that. 54 gold difference.
That's huge, man.
This game's been blown wide open.
We're looking at a close here soon, guys, as
Oh,
Pain and Dota Friends is taking a 50 gold lead with that last kill. No, it is a very close
they're
game.
up to 5k.
Yeah, that might as well be
33
50k. Or
minutes
sorry,
is
that might
like
as well be
nothing.
50 gold for one hero at this point in the game. 5k is kind of meaningless. It's half an item on or one item on a person, but everyone has enough items that one item isn't game breaking anymore. It's items at timings now, and what they can do with those timings.
Or if they do anything with those timings, might be more appropriate.
Yeah, if they do, because they could just skip them and go to the absolute late game, which would guarantee Raptors not casting anymore. But
So
we'll
here's
see
the
what
question:
happens.
is this 6.82? This kind of stalematey, very... Well, it's weird. We say very passive, but we're still over a kill a minute. But is this... Well, I guess we're a kill a minute. But is this just 6.82, or
I feel like that's just the current trend. I think there will.
is this because teams are scared of 6.82 and they don't get it yet?
I think it's just because that honestly, it's the beginning of the patch. It's harder to push. People are not favoring those kind of strategies, and naturally, it goes later. That also being said, I think that a lot of it has to do with the fact that this patch nerfed the current meta, not directly by like killing the heroes and their skill or their abilities, but by nerfing the way that the map works to stall Pushing's ability. And then by virtue of that, right, so we get these longer games. That adds to my previous point. But then that also means that people are going to prefer these later game lineups at the beginning. What we're going to see obviously later on is people are going to start to pick gank lineups, right? Like hard gank lineups. Yeah, you can't take towers, but you can gank the hell out of them, and then you can take towers. Or, conversely, you pick lane dominating strategies that just push down lanes. And there are ways to deal with it, but I think for now this is what we're going to be seeing, because it's just what everyone's most comfortable with, especially considering most people have played for the last year and a half in the competitive scene. And if you remember a year ago, right, like it was nothing but late game Dota.
Yeah, but my problem is that it's so much harder to push down to tier 1, and they can delay so much when you're trying to push down tier 1s, and then pushing down tier 2s is slightly slower because of the increased armor and everything. But that isn't the problem. Well, I guess that is the problem, but basically what it means is that it takes you longer to get to the base, and then you reach the base and pushing uphill to those tier 3s at a point where it becomes so much harder to do so.
Yep. No, I completely agree with that. As we continue to see this game really not go anywhere besides staying even. Smoke up, though. Looks to change that. D2 Sheriff blinks in, and we see the first action of a long time. LOL gets stunned up. There's the Fisher, there's the Chronosphere. Hitting on multiple heroes, but the Witch Doctor rolled off the mark, as it's really not going to do anything. The double bolus is going to help stall up this fight, but Moo is in the middle of the fight, dealing a ton of damage, just right-clicking down. One after another. The Echo Slam. Hitting big, hitting two, and now three are down, as they're able to clean up a ton. Moo and squad, with a big swing of momentum, are able to push down this bottom lane and continue to pressure hard.
Quick, let's go back and Roche now.
Yeah, seriously. But what Moo, man, he does so much damage, and I gotta hand it to that Earthshaker, man. What a great initiation. Mid-fight re-initiation. Huge heroes hit, lots of damage done, Fisher hits as well. Everything just perfect from him.
Kai is actually still ahead in net worth.
Yeah, by 2,000.
But Moo just finished Scotty.
Yep, and that's a big item for him. Surviving with 10 health is still surviving, and as long as you survive with enough health, Terrorblade will just sunder. And he has no Aegis as it is given to Razor, but Razor's ult no longer persists through Aegis.
And speaking of Razor's ult, he actually has also finished his eggs.
Just
so
sitting
he's
casually at
gonna
base.
look to fly that in shortly.
Most definitely.
D2 Sheriff almost has his Mjolnir.
Yeah, he's really close, actually.
well.
You're definitely right about that. The Earthshaker seems to be going for Shivas. I think that's a good decision, considering the build-up is decently cheap, except for the Mystic Staff. But the other components are very... Well, recipes not useful. Recipes cheap as hell is more important. But the plate mail, definitely a very useful pickup no matter what. Battle Fury. As he picks up a second one here soon, I imagine. No, wow. Ember Spirit's farm has stalled greatly. Pain Dota has just been kind of hitting a brick wall now.
There's only so much farm on the map to be had, and especially when both teams are just sitting back, farming so much, not willing to even take risks in terms of farming in really, really greedy locations. Can't really farm it that much.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And
We have 4 heroes already over 200 CS, 1 over 300, and then we've got 2 more over 100. One's actually close to 200, but just everyone's farming.
yeah, no, and it's probably going to continue for a while. So I'll take this second to go ahead and say this, guys. Of course, I apologize. This is not a common occurrence, but I have important stuff I need to study for my class before the exam tomorrow. So I'm gonna need to get that done after this game, as I don't want to be up super late. As Niz will be able to finish off the rest of the tournament, of course, and we'll plug his channel in just a second, as I think this mid tower might go down. TP over here from Hello World, as we see. Ken gonna throw out the Chronosphere. D2 Sheriff is
just hits.
gonna go down. Yeah, barely on the edge. We see Witch Doctor Ags doing quite a bit of damage here. Right click slows are coming out. Kai they're taking quite a bit of damage. LOL getting low as well. And now Hello World gonna move up with his team. He does have the Aegis pop, so he's gonna come back up, but the 2 members of Pain and Friends that have died do not have buyback. They have no way to come back into this fight. Pain Dodo and Kai in trouble, backing off. They're gonna have to, as they're gonna surrender this tower. And it looks like Water's gonna take probably the first major advantage in this game. In fact, maybe even a game-ending advantage, as I speak towards this game taking forever. But this has been the average 40 minutes. But Rax has not ended games yet today, guys. As we've had a few games with Rax take quite a while to end. We'll see if that happens this time. They will go ahead and back off now, but Sunstrike, woo, woo, nowhere, off the mark, not even anywhere near there. But before you go ahead and fill us in about that fight, Niz, like I said, guys, so after this, Twitch TV/NizCast will be where the semifinals and finals action is for this week. This shouldn't be happening for, if it does happen, it'll be another month or 2, because it'll be a while for the next exam. But yeah, that I just wanted to let you guys know about that, so you guys are prepared, and we will of course remind you at least one more time, if not that one more time being at the end. But yeah, Niz, that was huge for Water. They really needed that.
Yeah, it was.
Both teams kind of needed something.
I don't even know what the deciding factor was that made it so one-sided, but they just kind of rolled over them. It was Ken. Well, it first started with Ken getting. No, I should say the first thing that happened was D2 Sheriff jumping in, and then Ken threw down the chrono, just barely catching the D2 Sheriff on the edge of it. But Bren threw down his ultimate, and that kind of started, and then Ken was able to clean up the kill there and back out and get his Mjolnir, but then he didn't even have a part in the next fight, as his team just kind of got run over. I don't really know what the deciding factor was in that fight. Did you see like why it went water favored?
I mean,
Is
I
it just
wanna
a farm advantage or what?
I want to say it's not any advantage in the sense of heroes or play, but sheerly the way that their lineup works. But that being said, Hello World gets swapped back into the fight. DJ Sheriff going to blink forward. The Chronosphere in a good position, but the Ags, or the Witch Doctor, are going to do a ton of damage. Of course, he can activate BKB during, but he doesn't even really need to, as he doesn't get silenced up at all. Mock's going to die off to the side as they've already lost the Skywrath Mage and the Void. Kai and Pain Dodo are still alive, but they're the only ones alive. And to be honest, the ones that are alive on the side of water are more important, especially this Terrorblade. But yeah, I think it's the way their lineup works, Niz. Primarily, yeah, it's great the way that fight started with the Chronosphere and stuff, but really the first hero that went down was Wraith King. And when that happens, right, all of that damage was focused for nothing. So I kind of think that was, and it's a small one, I know, but I think that's all it was. And the Witch Doctor's ult is going.
Well, Bren keeps positioning himself really, really well. He's actually using the Void's Chrono to his advantage, even though the Void's on the other side.
Well, and if he is on the other side and he just throws a Death Ward into the Chronosphere, Void can't stand in his own Chronosphere, right? Like, he has to get out of it. Even if it doesn't hit the enemy team, it just prevents the Chronosphere from doing anything. So, I put it this way, Niz, if I were to ask you, would you trade a Death Ward for Chronosphere every fight? Would you do it? On the side of the Witch Doctor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I really like this. Kind of something, in pub plays or whatever, I kind of like this idea and like to try it in the future myself, because it's one great way to just, who cares about Chrono, right? Death Ward. Done deal. So, we'll see if Bren can continue the positioning, though.
Well, we've talked about Bren playing Witch Doctor a lot, and definitely showing he understands it, and he knows how to play against Void. As obviously, if he's been playing Witch Doctor a lot, he's probably been playing against a lot of Voids. So he understands how to use that to the most effectiveness.
No, definitely well put. And Roche, respawn time going to be known soon, as we are 1 racks in, and I thought this game was actually going to end right after I was talking about how I, need to go to sleep and stuff like that.
Good one.
Studying done, and then the game continues on anyways. So 6.82 Dota, guys. 6.82 Dota never ends. It never ends as we reach 45 minutes, and I'd say this has been about our average time.
Which is weird because it doesn't seem that much longer than what we're used to.
No, I think
But
it's
it
just because it's getting
feels
towards.
longer.
For me, it feels a lot longer because I'm definitely exhausted, and I know I have that exam tomorrow, so I got that mental stress weighing me down. But yeah, no, I think it's also just the fact that it's closer to the end, right? The closer you are to the end, the longer it feels. And especially for these players, right? Because they got 2 more games after this. And the other teams are watching them. The other
they're
teams are already
still
waiting. Imagine having to wait 2 hours to play.
Because of course one team's already in the finals.
Yep, there is already one in the finals. That is right, and it unfortunately was not Lejeune to Blue, but again, good job to them making it to the semifinals. This should be a free Roche for Water, and I think with that they'll be able to clinch the victory.
Well, they're gonna come to contest though.
Will it be in
Gonna be
time?
there too
Kai's
late,
gonna
though.
pop it. Yeah, no, they are. They're too late, and illusions are gonna run out. Looks like actually Ken just gonna get blown up. He does have buyback though, so that's important. Hello World gonna be able to clean up. Actually, it's Moo that gets the kill on the Skywrath Mage, and we'll see. They have the buyback on Faceless Void, so there is hope, but it's a dim hope to say the least.
Well, they might catch Pain
Oh
Dodo.
yeah, no, that might just seal the game right there. As there's no way that you can escape Moo.
He has buyback as well.
Oh, he does. Okay, we're good. We're good. They still have hope. Again, though, double Battle Fury. The hopes are thin and slim and sad, and it's not good. But there is still a chance as we see the posturing from Water move up onto the high ground. Hello World. I'm gonna be pretty far up there, but Bryn Bad positioning this time is going to just get absolutely obliterated, but Yurkin with the Echo Slam going to do more than they need. Pain Dodo going to get cleaned off. Now Ox Mox running into the back, but D2 Sheriff is easily zoning him back as long with Kai. And now the bottom racks is exposed as the T3 goes down, the tower taking a ton of damage. Eye of the Storm activated once, tried to activate it twice, will get bursted down before he actually gets the second one off, but D2 Sheriff back up, the stun, the split. Fisher hitting a ton of the Radiant side, in fact all of them, and Kai and Moo 1v1. Will Moo get the Rampage before it ends? And yes, he does.
There it is.
Rampage. GG. Well played. And wow. What a game. What a game. But, yeah, no, what are your final thoughts on that game, Niz? 'Cause
that was greedy as from Water in terms of their draft and how they played it out, how they laned it. You know, they had Earthshaker off lane, they had Moo in the jungle on the Terror Blade. It was just overall really, really greedy, but it kind of worked out for them. And then as the game progressed, like you said, their lineup just kind of worked, and it worked, and they got kills, and they just kind of ran you over. It wasn't because of any kind of skill differential or hero, like just good team synergy or anything like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's almost hard to explain. They were just stronger. It felt like, and it wasn't a huge goal difference. It was just, our lineup is just solid and it's gonna work, and it did.
yeah, and they executed it well. They definitely did. Well, guys, that'll do it for us on the quarterfinals, and that'll do it for me for tonight. Unfortunately, again, I apologize for this, guys. I will be, of course, back with the Niz on Thursday and Sunday, but if you enjoyed watching this cast and you want to watch more of us together, you can check it out here, twitch.tv/DotaRaptors, and follow. If you want to watch the VODs of us casting together, youtube.com/DotaRaptors. But more importantly, for the next 2 games, every single one of you should be going over to twitch.tv/Nizcast. And before I officially get off to study and stuff, I'm going to get in contact with Niz offline here and have host my channel for his, because I don't know how to do that. That way you guys can just come here if you want to watch it. But thank you so much for tuning in here and watching. I appreciate it, guys. And sorry about this, but we will be back, and I will be back on Thursday. Niz will be back with the next game.